In the dead of a Russian winter, as bombs rained down and hunger clawed at every corner, a young girl named Tanya scribbled in her diary, "Today, we ate the library books." This wasn't fiction. It was the brutal reality of the Siege of Leningrad, where over 1 million lives hung by a thread. Join me as we uncover the heroism and horror that defined this epic standoff. Imagine being trapped in your city, not for days, not for weeks, but for 872 long, starving, frozen days, a city cut off, 1 million civilians dead, yet it never surrendered. This is the story of the Siege of Leningrad, a story of survival, tragedy, and unbreakable human spirit. Nazi Germany launches the largest invasion in human history. 3 million soldiers storm into the Soviet Union. To the north lies Leningrad, the proud city on the Neva River. It's not just another target. Leningrad is an industrial powerhouse, producing tanks, weapons, and supplies. It's also symbolic. The city of Lenin, the cradle of the Russian Revolution. To Hitler, its destruction would be both a strategic victory and a psychological blow. But Hitler gives a chilling order. Leningrad must starve. We will not accept their surrender. The plan isn't to capture the city, it's to erase it. September 1941, German Army Group North tightens its grip. Railways are cut. Supply routes vanish. Then, a devastating air raid. Warehouses holding the city's food reserves go up in flames. The message is clear. The people of Leningrad are on their own. Nearly 3 million civilians are trapped inside. Families, workers, children. At first, many think it will last only weeks. Rations are cut. People queue for bread. They whisper, "Surely the Red Army will break through soon." But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and winter is coming. Part 3. Hunger and Cold. The first winter of the siege is brutal. Temperatures plummet to 30 °C. Bread rations fall to just 125 grams a day, barely more than a slice. And even that bread is mixed with sawdust and other fillers to make it stretch. People eat wallpaper paste. They boil leather belts. They capture rats. Pets vanish. And still, hunger deepens. There are heartbreaking stories. The diary of little Tanya Savicheva tells it best. One by one, her family members die of starvation. At the end, only she remains. Yet in this frozen hell, life stubbornly continues. Schools stay open. Theaters perform plays. And in August 1942, against all odds, Shostakovich's Seventh Symphony is performed inside the besieged city. Musicians, half-starved, gather to play. Loudspeakers broadcast it across the city, and even toward German lines, a defiant cry that Leningrad is still alive. With land routes cut off, only Lake Ladoga offers hope. When the lake freezes, Soviet trucks begin crossing its surface. This dangerous route becomes known as the Road of Life. Drivers race across thin ice under constant German bombardment. Some trucks break through and sink. Others make it through, carrying sacks of flour and tins of meat. On the return journey, they evacuate civilians, mostly children. It's not enough to feed everyone, but it keeps the city from dying completely. The Road of Life becomes a lifeline, fragile, deadly, but essential. By 1942, the siege drags on. Hunger weakens the population. Death tolls climb into the hundreds of thousands. But beyond the city, the tide of war begins to shift. At Stalingrad, the Soviets fight back fiercely. And in January 1943, Operation Iskra begins. Soviet forces launch a desperate assault to break the blockade. After days of brutal fighting, they succeed in opening a narrow corridor to the city. For the first time in over a year, supplies can move in by land. The siege isn't over, but the noose is loosened. Finally, in January 1944, a massive Soviet offensive smashes German lines. The blockade is lifted. After 872 days, Leningrad is free. But victory comes at a staggering price. Nearly 1 million civilians are dead, most from starvation and cold. Entire families erased, children orphaned. Yet despite everything, Leningrad never surrendered. The factories kept working. The soldiers kept fighting. The people endured. Hitler had vowed to starve Leningrad out of existence. Instead, the city became a symbol of endurance the world would never forget.